I really love this Lotus flower template from the Crafter's Workshop. And what I'm really liking is you can see there's 4 different flower designs. But the way they work, you could use any one of these, or you could also layer them on top of each other for really cool effects. They match up really in really neat ways. And for example, here's the card you see in my blog post, and I've used all 4. I used this one here you can see in white with some glossy multimedium. You know, the blue is this one, the gold, and the gold with the darker pink is this one. And then the lighter pink was done with this one here. So I just want to take a second here. You'll also see them used, again, layered on this layout that currently is in progress, that you'll see the finished result of in my post. And I'm currently loving pink with navy blue, so that's kind of the look, and a touch of gold, and it just feels right with these. So you could start anywhere, really. Whichever one you started with, you could then layer on. So something to think about is, what look are you going for? For example, if I want to have the whole flower be one color and have it be edged in another color, I would probably want to do this one first. And you could use mists or whatever you normally would use with a stencil on this. Paste, I mean, everything works with it. I am actually finding I'm really liking, for if I'm going to be coloring the petals, I really like to use my distress markers. And if I try to use not the point, it's a brush tip, just use the side, and I just kind of brush it in there. And the great thing about the distress markers is that the way that they work, they'll blend with other colors, and if something's looking kind of scratchy or something, don't worry about it, because you can just go in there, squirt it with a little water, and you'll get kind of a watercolor look. And for this, for what I'm doing, I really like that look. So I'm not going to color the whole thing. I'm just going to do a few petals, and you can see that there. And I could, you know, spray it with water, spray it with something else, but since I'm just trying to show you what I'm doing here, I'm just going to do a little bit of it. So then you can take in a different one. Now this one lined up, you can see it pretty much lines up so that most of the pink that I just colored is covered. Now, if I wanted to do some kind of resist now, I could go in here with multimedium and gloss, or gel medium. I could go in here with molding paste, do whatever I wanted. Or what I've been having a lot of fun with is going in here with a acrylic paint, and this is a paint dabber, but any acrylic paint would do. And I'm just tapping it on here all along. And if you want it to be really solid, you'll just need to keep tapping until you get a really solid coverage, and you can see that the area that you've done, that you're not seeing any white through. And as long as you're just tapping, then you won't have problems with smudging or paint getting under. Okay, so there you can see I've done that there, and it did get a little wet. Another thing you can certainly do is if you wanted to ink, or I find paint to work really well. If you paint the stencil, you could then use it as like a stamp, okay? So you'll get the reverse effect, and that can be really pretty too. And usually with the paint, I can get a couple of images to see how that looks. I just love playing with stencils, can you tell? So on this one, I would let the paint totally dry normally. I'm going to hit it with my heat gun just real quick. Okay, and if I wanted, I could go in, you can see what this one's going to do is all those areas that aren't really painted all that much are going to get touched up, and that's a lot of fun. But what I want to do for this one, what you see me do a lot of in the projects that I shared for this blog hop, I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to go in with gold. I'm just loving navy plus pink plus gold right now. And because I'm using my paint and I'm just tapping it, if you're using paint and it's not a dabber, just use a foam brush. So I'm not trying to be really solid on this. I'm just tapping along here, and I'll lift that up. And you can see now I've got accents there, and I'll bring that way up close for you. So you can really get a good look at that. And you can see I've got some accent too. The other thing I like about working with paint with these stencils is that when you do that, you do get a little bit of texture. And I have a lot of fun with, oh goodness, I've got all kinds of, you know, molding paste, blended fibers, all kinds of fun materials that we can work and play with. So that's just a quick little look here at the technique I've been using here in my studio with the Crafters Workshop Lotus Blossom Stencil. Happy crafting!